Alright, first pull, we are pulling the first guy in the front here, and then the paths on the left and right side.
But of late, the devotees have become secretive, hostile.
Pulling in the guys.
The gods sought to kill you.
Careful not to get hit in the back on this reluctantly. Thank you, Sick Jet. We've got this. We're gonna time this easy. We're gonna gain Raider IO, and it's gonna be awesome. Watch that frontal. Careful with all the shoot casts. Right, pulling the odds in the center here. These three, and the ones on the left and right here. It's weird.
It's too far away.
Right, pulling in the shoot guys. Remember, you can use CCs or... yeah, you can only use CCs to interrupt the shoots here. And also, when pulling this dungeon, you want to make sure that you pick up either a priest or a paladin for this center buff. This buff is going to give everybody a strength buff, and, well, I don't know if it's strength or primary stat, but I gain a strength buff. So it's definitely worth doing for it. For a small buff. Can't reach the shoot guy. Okay, that's fine. Where's our ad? There he is. Nice. Okay, so somehow the ad pulled the ads. But that's okay. We need it for percent. When tanking this boss, this mini boss, make sure that your back is against a wall. It can be against the wall leading into the upper area, or the wall on the stairs, or this wall here in the front of the stairs. So this invisible wall here in front of the stairs, it's kind of like a banister type thing. It works to support you. You just want to make sure that when the boss hits you, he's going to hit you up onto this miniature wall. Step back off the miniature wall, so that the next time he hits you back onto the miniature wall again. So let's see. Buff gives me too many abilities. Cycling past. Uh-oh, we're lagging. There we go. We're back. We gotcha. We gotcha.
It's too far away. I'm
A gift of power.
Gotta get our bones and our rune and parrot back. Careful, that shoot guy came from downstairs somewhere. I'm like 90% sure the fire rain hit him, but I don't know that for sure. Careful with the shields. Don't step in any of these traps. If you step in these traps, you will be rooted. You'll take a burst of damage and then you will be rooted. Oh, and they make you bleed for 500,000 damage a second for 5 seconds. And I do not recommend testing that in A7, which we just tested that, but I don't recommend doing that. That's not creepy at all. You know what the Warlock's macro says. Psst, I want candy. when he dropped out his locked rocks. The whole party took that candy. Okay, we're pulling in the ads on the outside. Make sure you're interrupting that greater healing. You want to make sure you're using CCs or interrupts to interrupt everybody on this cast. Greater heal on this cast, on this pull. Greater healing is going to be your priority interrupt, so. Pulling in the shoot guy.
It is too far away. I don't have a target.
Alright, so we are... What are we gonna do? We're gonna pull the guy up on the top next after these guys die. These guys are like almost dead.
My power is transcendent. Share in it.
Alright, pulling the mini boss. So be careful with this fire mini boss. I have not determined where the best spot to tank this guy is. But I know for sure you need to give yourself enough room to not stand in the fire.
I need to get closer. It is too far away. I'm out of range.
Okay,
I need
not
to get
super
closer.
sure why the Warlock's ads are pulling stuff, but they are.
I'm out of range. It is too far away.
A gift of power.
Damage done is increased by 50%. Why is his damage increased?
You won't peel off anymore. You must defeat
Where'd that ad reset?
They have stopped the production of our weapons.
You know what though? I will take it. That's fine that he reset. We didn't want to fight that pull. Careful with that burst of light. So if any ads are caught inside of that burst of light, they do heal. You want to make sure you're getting the ads out of that burst of light before the burst of light goes off. Divine Judgment.
Show them the power of the flame.
Holy Radiance. Be careful with that Holy Radiance.
A gift of power.
It is too far away.
Yeah, we are almost done and we are good to go forward.
You won't peel off anymore.
Hold. I see their captain.
Okay, and then this got pulled last time, so we're just going to pull this. And the mini boss is going to run through here, so we are going to pull the mini boss with this pull here.
I need to get closer.
Oh, never mind. Mini boss is not going to run through here. We must have already pulled it into that pull. If when we were backing up, when the fire guy died, we probably pulled the mini boss because it runs through here. So we probably just pulled it into the pull. Careful with that pot shot. Okay, checking the healer's mana. Healer's mana is okay. Pulling the pull. Pierce armor. Make sure you're using defensive during pierce armor. Pierce armor is going to put a dot on the tank or the person with aggro. That ticks for almost 700. That ticks for almost 700,000 damage a second. Here's armor again. This effect does stack. The other thing you want to be careful for on Captain Delcry is the frontal that he has. He casts a line on the ground, and this line on the ground will be a one-shot if you stand in it when his cast goes off. Hurl Spear. Watch the red line on the ground and make sure you are not standing in it when his cast goes off, because it will one-shot you. Watch the pounce from Captain Delcry. His cat literally pounces people. And you want to be careful with that guy who gets pounced, because if he's pounced and the fire's going off, you do not want to deal with it. So right now, we are going right because I'm seeing most people go right. But left is always an option as well. Depending on which ads you pull, it changes. It used to change this ad at the end. So one of these days, we're going to have to test going the other way and see if it changes the ad at the end. Let's see, so this is Tanner, so this is this one. But you could also fight this one, Sergeant Chainmail, and this one. But I think that the fire is probably the easiest to fight. Battlecry, make sure you're interrupting Battlecry.
My spear aims through. The faithless put an end to these heathens.
Savage Mauling on the next guy. Battlecry needs to be interrupted.
A gift.
1% left on the boss. Perfect. Gotta pull the orbs.
Delcry was an Arathi hero. How could the Priory force him to turn against Hallowfall?
Are these still strikes, lackeys? Guards! Guards! I need to get closer.
We are pulling all of our ads back. And we're going to pull the ads from the left and right. Careful with the Holy Smite. Make sure that you're interrupting Holy Smite.
It's too far away.
Consecrate. You need to be moving out of Consecrate. If you see a Consecrate coming on the ground, pre-move before the Consecrate gets on the ground.
It's too far away.
I don't believe Consecrate gives these guys any kind of buff, so you're just moving them for yourself.
My power is transcendent.
I need to get closer.
Share in it.
No, her youthfulness to the Empire has passed. Soon.
Alright, we are pulling both ads from the left and right side.
Will be mighty. I need to get
Careful right here not to let any of your party members pull aggro, because these ads deal a lot of damage and they'll die.
I'm out of range.
As a Death Knight, I would recommend saving your Abomination Limbs. Usually if you use your Abomination Limbs on the first pull, you'll have your Abomination Limbs back by that pull. I did not this time.
I need to get closer.
But usually you use your abomination limbs in the entrance to the door. You'll have abomination limbs back when the two guys come running down. Two sets of guys come running down. Currently the dungeon is showing we are 1 minute behind, but I think we're quickly fixing that. We definitely still time this. Easy.
My power is transcendent.
Sacred Toll, make sure you're using a defensive, and if you are low on health,
In it.
heal yourself somehow. You can use health pots, lock rocks, or certain classes have actual heals like druids, priests, shamans, monks, evokers. I can't think of them all right now. But a lot of classes have their own heals, so you don't want to let yourself stay low on health.
By my holy hammer.
Wait, watch those hammers.
Flame cleanse you.
Sacred Pike is up. We need 3 people to go and soak this Sacred Pike. Oh, nice. Nice timing on the interrupt. Watch those shields.
The flame empowers.
There's actually a lot of movement in this boss fight, so you want to be very careful with the movement on this boss fight.
Glory guides my hammer.
Hammers of Purification. Yeah, thank you.
Flame cleanse
Okay,
you.
he is summoning his next circle. Again, you're going to need 3 people, 3 unique people to step into that circle.
Heal me.
A gift of power.
Glory
You know,
guides my
you only have 5 people in your party, so it does not have to be the same people every time. Or not the same people every time. You don't have to, like, switch it up. It can be the same people every time. So you can say so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so are on hammers.
By my shield. Flame cleanse you.
This last time, though, there are 5 soaks. Everybody needs to grab one.
Holy hammer. By fire, I am healed.
Boy.
By my shield.
35% left on the boss.
Of power.
The flame empowers me. Flame cleanse you. By my holy hammer. Flame's wrath heal me.
Careful those hammers.
By my shield.
Shields. Just barely made it out of there.
Glory guides my hammer. Flame cleanse
Watch those hammers. Pull the boss across the room.
flame empowers me. By fire, shielded by
Burning light. Make sure you're using interrupts on that burning light. Boss has 8%, and then we are good to go back to the other side.
my holy hammer. Flame cleanse you. By my shield.
I don't disagree that we could probably kill the boss before that exploded.
My first defeat.
I just feel like it's always safer to do the mechanics first.
Murpray has warped the Priory
But
from
the
a
boss had
peaceful
2%
population
health.
to an uprising.
And maybe if I hadn't walked away to do the mechanics, then we would have killed the boss before that was
She has always preached
before the mechanics were
strength
even
of the
relevant.
Emperor's will, but to turn against us is madness.
Holy Smite. Make sure you're interrupting Holy Smite. Greater Heal also needs to be interrupted.
I'm out of range.
My
Right,
power
going into the next room.
Belladar is the crucible. It burns away weakness. Its blind
Line of sight is actually a good idea.
shows the strength. We Iraq with an army of the risen.
Careful with the
The
circle.
Iraqi will defeat the Nerubians, conquer Khazalgar, and subjugate the world.
No.
Make sure you're interrupting the Greater Heal.
Defile the sacred flame by animating the dead. They are no better than the Kobis.
I need to get closer.
Consecrate. Walk out of Consecrate. Pulling the Sacred Toll guy out of Consecrate. Sacred Toll. Make sure that you're using defensives during that Sacred Toll cast. A Sacred Toll cast is going to do AoE damage to you. Okay, well, this is... How do we pull the lip over there?
My power
I meant to pull the pat. I was trying to pull the pat without pulling these. We accidentally...
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
Alright. Don't pull like that. Yeah, I see the pat. He wants the pat plus those. No burst now. Yeah, we killed all his minions. So I wanted to pull the pat without pulling these. I accidentally pulled these. That was just not a good circumstance at all. Getting out. Patience is a virtue. Have patience. Wait for the pat to walk past. And the Warlock wishes for the Paladin to click the gold ball. I actually did not know there were multiple party buffs throughout this dungeon. I thought there was just the one at the beginning. Now we're still going to time this. We're just cutting it very close on time now. And also we're giving up on the idea of pulling those two pulls separate.
My power is transcendent. Share in it.
Careful with those orbs. Make sure you're using interrupts on those orbs. Blazing Strike. Careful with that Blazing Strike. Next we are going to pull the left and right side of the stairs. Blazing Strike again.
Foolish outsiders. Beladar's sacred flame will simply raise him back to
Now the reason I'm pulling both sides is because I'm pretty sure if you don't pull the other side pulls into the boss. Thank you, whoever pulled that. And the
My
elementals.
power is transcendent. Share in it.
Greater healing. Make sure that you're getting that greater healing interrupt every time the greater healing is about to go off. Home
Sacred
boss.
flame will cleanse your transgressions.
Holy Smite needs to be interrupted. Make sure you're getting the interrupt on Holy Smite.
By blaze be purified.
Purify. A good general
My faith,
like
my
idea is if
burn by sacred
oh dang, I
flame.
forgot to look away. He definitely got meleeed. Yeah, melee. So don't forget that as a tank, you can hold aggro if you are stunned. You can hold aggro if you're rooted or CC'd. You cannot hold aggro if you are disoriented. If you are disoriented, you lose aggro. So blinding light, look away, then look back. It's like those zombies from Karazhan Lower. When they were stamping no, they were using a flashlight, I think. You had to look away when they were using a flashlight.
Flames take you. By blaze be purified.
This guy is actually a lot like those zombies because they drop stuff on the floor too.
My flame
Blinding light, look away.
burn by sacred flame.
50% left on the boss, and then we are,
Sisters,
yep,
march to the
at 50% left on the boss, we are good to go up because the boss phases and goes up. We then have to break the boss's shield to stop her from summoning ads and from doing this AoE damage thing that she does.
My power is
He. She. I think it was she.
Share in it.
Yeah, priestess. Definitely she. Purple's Holy Smite. Make sure you're interrupting Holy Smite.
by blaze be purified.
Purify.
My faith, my flame. Burn by sacred flame.
Okay. Gotta start looking away. Gotta pay more attention to what's in your hand, Eddie. Holy Smite. Interrupt Holy Smite. Right, we're watching the cast this time.
By
And our
blaze
flame
be
is not the one you have to look
purified.
away from. Purify, you're good.
My faith,
Blinding light. Now you want to look away.
flames take you.
Holy Smite has to be interrupted.
My
Burn by sacred flame. My faith, my flame. By blaze be purified. Flames take you. I don't have time. The Empire will see you.
Alright, so we time